Disinformation surrounding elections is not a new phenomenon. In fact, it's been around for close to 200 years. Staff writer Rafael Bernal breaks down the history of democracy disruption and helps us get to the truth on some of today's biggest falsehoods.
Texas is planning to secede from the Union over immigration. Well, that's obviously not true. But people who believe former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev might just think it is. And it's not just Medvedev. Russian state media has been pushing falsehoods on immigration, race relations, and election security in the United States. We can ignore those channels. The European Union even banned them. But state and non-state actors are leveraging social media platforms to sow disinformation and misinformation. And the threat is global. The Russian government has an interest in disrupting democratic elections, especially in North America and Europe, and the Chinese government has been active disrupting democracy in the Asia-Pacific region, according to the Alliance for Securing Democracy. There are countless reasons why individuals or groups choose to mess with reality. There's scams, vandalisms, culture wars, just because they can. So let's focus on election disinformation to keep this simple. Okay, maybe not simple, but at least targeted. Election disinformation is old. So old that the term used to describe it for a century originated in the 1840s. We're not going to bring back the roarback. That's the word for a last-minute hoax designed to spread a lie without giving the offended party time to counteract it. In 1844, the Ithaca Chronicle published a fake book excerpt saying then-presidential candidate James K. Polk owned slaves, and that he branded them. Polk won that election, of course, and the country gained the old-timey expression for fake news, the roarback. Fast forward 180 years, the roarbacks are everywhere, and there's an entire industry devoted to stopping them. Companies like Logically, Recorded Future, Graphica, and Mandiant, and groups like the Alliance for Securing Democracy and the Stanford Internet Observatory are all tracking information manipulation. The Duke Reporters Lab keeps a database of more than 400 fact-checking operations worldwide. The number of fact-checkers grew aggressively over the past decade, and then it's leveled off over the last 3 years. But the disinformation industry is strong, and now it's using AI to manipulate even more people. It's not just the Russian and Chinese governments. There are disinformation agents using technology to support or attack politicians of all leanings. Most disinformation starts with claims or posts that people would want to share. And the biggest lies, they build up organically. Take the big lie. Former President Trump started talking about rigged elections at least since August of 2016. Running against Hillary Clinton in an election that he would win, Trump told a rally in Ohio that election would be rigged against him. Today, millions of people say the 2020 election was rigged, and they act on it. In Arizona, the Secretary of State has created a full-time position for an analyst to scour the internet for disinformation and threats. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, part of the federal government, has an entire project in English and Spanish dedicated to separate election facts from rumors. But in 2024, literally billions of people around the world are voting in critical elections, right as AI tools are getting good enough to fool most of the people most of the time. It's a great opportunity for anyone who would want to disrupt democracy, and for anyone who might want to bring back the roarback.